kind of wish this gave me a countdown. I should have started with a countdown, but it is a-okay. All right, we're starting. What's going on, guys? Vic VP here. Gamecase Arcades. Gotta remember the camera's over there. Very excited. Excuse me for not looking at you. Oh man, very excited. Just gonna go live real quick because this is one big thing that I definitely wanted to do. I've been dying to do it. Dying's not really a good word to say, but I've been very anxious to go live and stuff. Just give me 1 second because still ironing some stuff out. But awesome. Very, very excited now. All right, here's the plan. We're going to be hanging out basically just like the thumbnail says, give you a little bit of an overview on what I want to do for the new year. Basically, really just want to do more streaming and more gaming. That's like the #1 thing. I got a new camera. It looks great. I think it looks awesome. Yes, there's just a lot I want to do. I really wanted to start this yesterday, but the kiddo didn't have school yesterday, but she's got school today. So my plan really is to stream Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yes, she goes to school 3 days out of the week. It's your basically pre-K stuff. So it's really the only time, honestly, that it's like quiet time. I don't have to worry about like, is she gonna wake up like I normally do when I'm like at nighttime? If I'm gaming and all that, then she'll wake up suddenly. I gotta go upstairs. If you've seen like my past streams and all that. So yes, I'm doing this. We're doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Just wanna hang out. We'll talk. I have like my chat. I'm still kind of ironing out some stuff. I mentioned it in my last Godfather stream where I basically wiped my laptop entirely. I wanted to log into like Facebook right now. That's giving me a freaking headache. Working out some like stream stuff. And the cool thing right now is that we are streaming to TikTok. So that's pretty cool. I don't actually. I have to figure out the chat on TikTok. But yeah, basically that is the plan. Let's game more. Let's talk more. Let's stream more. I mentioned in my Godfather one, basically it was like, I'm not my own enemy. It was just I'm stopping myself. So now this is probably the perfect way. And not to mention at my age now, at like 33, 34, I feel like I lose interest in a game after like an hour. So as far as timing wise, usually after I drop off the kiddo and then I'll eat with the wife. Figure around this time, I really wanted to aim for like 10:30, but I was having some login issues. So I figure like 10:30 to about 12 is good because I got to pick up the kiddo at 12:20. So it gives me enough time to shut down the stream, say bye to you guys and all that. That's mostly it. We'll be talking just also gaming wise. I'm planning to do like 1 day pinball stream, 1 day retro gaming stream, and then 1 day just talk to chat and the camera. Yes, I do know it's early in the morning, so I might not be getting everybody in the heat of the moment, but that's a-okay. I want to do it also quick. As you can see, like I kind of just pressed start. I didn't even like announce a stream. This is kind of like how I would do it, only because in case somebody watches this later on in the fact, then cool. At least they could just watch it without 5 minutes of silence like I used to stream before. Yeah, that is the main idea. I just want to get back into gaming. I had this thing where like I kind of want to wait for like the kiddo to get older to play like arcade games, and it's just kind of nightly I'm like, oh, I kind of just want to play. I just want to relive some classics and all that. But then I had that block that I made from myself. I was like, oh, I want to play with the kiddo though. So I figured, you know what? Later on, we'll play with the kiddo, and I'll at least still enjoy because you got to live in the moment and enjoy it now. Basic stuff, just basic stuff. Last night I was watching somebody stream on YouTube. B joined in. They were talking about the arcade one-ups. OTG, I think was the guy's name. Cool guy, I guess you could say. I only watched for like 30 minutes. Ralph, what's up? And yes, that's what I was going to actually mention today. Ralph mentioned getting a Jaws machine. Yes, Stern. And Stern just now 15 minutes ago released the story trailer, but also their game trailer got leaked. So we'll be talking about that. I don't want to be strictly on pinball on my channel, although pinball has, oh man, pinball is just a thing of beauty. It has taken over my life. No, I'm not getting a Jaws. I'm not a fan of the movie, so I'm big on theme. If you know me, theming is a big deal. Jaws, I mean, I remember watching even Carrie Hardy was talking about like Jaws right now. Its biggest competitor is Godzilla. Godzilla is a beautiful game locally. Luckily, my local pinball place that's 40 miles out has a Godzilla. I'm happy I got my name on the board. There's something about getting your name on the board in like a public arcade that is just like awesome. It honestly is great. I forgot to put the chat in my window, but it's a-okay. But no, I'm not gonna get a Jaws. I didn't watch. I just skimmed it real quick because Project Canada sent me the Jaws story. I'll go full screen. We'll look at that real quick, and then we'll also look at the leaked footage of the table. Again, I don't want to turn into a pinball only stream, pinball only channel, but pinball is pinball. I do it. Like I said, my machines, they get played nightly, daily. And that's the hardest thing when the kiddo goes to bed. It's like, you know, it's kind of not loud, but it's loud. Flippers and all that, they are loud. And then also right now, I'm working on my V-Pin. That's getting updated. It's going from the 50-inch QNED. Yesterday, somebody picked up, they called it the carcass. The guy was like, I'm going to come pick up the carcass right now. So I literally gave it away for free, my 50-inch body, just the cabinet alone and the back box. Totally dismantled. Some guy drove like an hour away to pick it up. He's not even ready to build his V-Pin, but he's like, Vic, I can't pass up on a free cab. I was like, you don't understand. I've had this cab up like on the virtual pinball group for like 2 weeks. And I've had so many people that are like, yeah, I'm going to come now, I'm going to go get it. And then they kind of like just disappear into the abyss, and it's kind of annoying. But yes, so the 50-inch Simpsons Pinball virtual party, that is gone. I have literally just a void there. But in the garage is Rev 2. I kept the same theme. 2.0 is coming. That's going to run the 42-inch C3 OLED. I'm excited for that. Today I'm planning to get all the wiring done. Only thing right now currently is like my Eric Big E Productions with the metal. I might have to wait a little bit for that, and that's a-okay. My main thing is at least I could just play. I don't mind playing with like on bare wood. Not to mention Justin Gulf Coast Decals. He's going to send me the invoice. I sent him the artwork already. I modified my Simpsons artwork, and I'm just excited to get that. Yes, I kept the same exact theming. I had to adjust my artwork. I actually cleaned up the edges on my artwork for The Simpsons. I loved my theme. My Simpsons theme was the best one. That's when she was my first one. I never get rid of my original cabs, but that MDF cabinet I definitely could go without. Now, real quick, we could do it together. Let me make sure that, I guess my mic is, I got desktop audio, that's fine. I don't have audio, but that's a-okay. Let us take a look real quick. We're gonna watch this Jaws. I didn't see it. You guys could probably hear it there. It's a 33-second promo.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
We gotta close the beach.
A 3-ton eating machine.
He's chasing us. Shoot!
Get me right up alongside it!
Fire the harpoon!
Stern Pinball presents Jaws. You'll get hooked.
Okay, now give me a second. Let me watch it now. So you got your basic dudum, so great. I'm going to basically get copyrighted for that.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
We gotta close the beach.
A 3-ton eating machine.
He's chasing us. Shoot!
Get me right up alongside it!
Fire the harpoon!
Stern Pinball presents Jaws.
You'll get hooked. Interesting. And then I said somebody already leaked the actual cabinet. I'm hoping that you were able. Oh, you wouldn't even able to see that. Whoops. I have to go here. I'll replay it real quick. All right, sorry. We will replay that real quick so you guys can see it there. Luckily, I have my second monitor. So you guys, I don't even think you guys even heard it, but you probably heard desktop audio. But yes, let's let that go.
Just when you thought it was safe to
again,
go back in the water.
We gotta close the beach.
A 3-ton eating machine.
He's chasing us. Shoot!
Get me right up alongside it!
Fire the harpoon!
Stern Pinball presents Jaws. You'll get hooked.
I'll be honest, the first thing I already noticed is again, I'm not trying to badmouth Stern. That's not my thing to do. But the voice on that, where you try to sound like the movie guy, yeah. So let's say real quick. I haven't really I watched this real quick. Project Canada sent me this of the leak of the actual table. Watch it together.
Fire the harpoon! Shoot! Fast fish.
Well, not as easy, is it?
This shark will eat anything.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right. I mean, like I said, I unfortunately can't hear it. I gotta just put my headphones in. But there's a couple of things. I mean, it's cool. Artwork seems okay. That's kind of interesting. With the bite mark, Kaneda wrote there that he basically said like it looks like Homer Simpson took a bite out of the metal. I do like the white. Plunger, I guess, is supposed to mimic this buoy. I haven't seen Jaws, so just seeing real quick that we saw we saw like the game story trailer, and I do see that these yellow buoys get dropped. So that's what I'm assuming where this plunger gets involved. It's just so funny because I feel like Jaws, somebody made it on like VPX or Future. And that back box looks just like it. But then again, that's the signature Jaws. Not really a fan of that. You saw the speaker grills on that? It looks like Jaws, but honestly, it also looks like Star Trek. It looks like the Star Trek emblem. Plunger action. Gear collection. This is like a chum bucket. I did notice that real quick. Again, I haven't seen the movie. I'm not into Jaws. That's kind of cool. It's almost basically, it's kind of like again, I'm not an expert at pinball, but this is basically your captive ball. I compare this to like Toy Story. Basically captive ball, and then it's got to hit the target in the back. Is there multiple targets in the back? There are. You could kind of see the 3 arrows there. Yeah, you can see my mouse. Okay, good. Looks like there's kind of 3 targets in the back there, so it's actually a little bit more advanced than the Toy Story one. This one right here, I mean, when Project Canada sent it to me, it kind of sounded like a party, like a New Year's party, like toy. I would probably say that almost is like Guns N' Roses. That's kind of cool. This is pretty interesting. Complete chum line to light ready barrel. This is kind of cool. This is a pretty cool mech. It's an interesting cutout. Looks like a spleen or whatever you want to call it.
Fire the harpoon!
Good head. Now the shark cool.
Shoot!
My biggest thing right now is that the ball does not drop in the shark's mouth. That's a letdown.
Fast fish.
I would have probably wanted the ball to drop into the
Well,
mouth.
not as easy, is
Would have
it?
been a pretty cool, unique ball lock,
This shark will eat anything.
but I don't know. I don't know how I like the boat. The only other game that I think that has a boat,
gonna need a
again, it's like
bigger boat.
Pirates of the Caribbean from JJP, and then the Stugotz on The Sopranos. I don't know.
You're gonna
I
need a
really
bigger boat.
don't know. I think that's the one thing that I kind of was disappointed in, is that the actual shark
This
does
shark
not
will
eat the
eat
ball.
anything.
I can't be the only one that thought that the shark was going to eat the ball. But it is what it is. You can't really do much on it.
You're gonna need a bigger
Even if they
boat.
make a ramp, it's going to be too like risky. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that into Stern. Not Stern. I'm not that into Jaws. So yeah, there is that. Let me make sure I'm in this. Yes. Anonymous, what's up? How are the GRS cabinets these days? I have a story for that. Make sure this is off. Again, I literally
Fire the harpoon!
let's turn that off. I literally had to reset my laptop. No idea. All right. It's funny you mentioned the GRS cabinets. I have, for Christmas, luckily, I got all my Christmas orders out in time. They were all 2-player pedestals. I have the videos for that coming up in like 2 weeks. This week is going to be the full detail review of the Time Crisis cabinet, and then I have the pedestal one. I didn't record each pedestal because it was all the same. It was literally copy and paste. They were all Pandora box, 10,000 game cabinets. The 2-player pedestal, I guess they bumped up from MDF. They actually used particle board. In my opinion, it is better than the MDF. So that's one thing you could kind of consider. It was kind of a plus, but it's still 1/2 inch. And they added more artwork to the side compared to when I first got it. In that same order, I have, it's either called the curve or the slant. I do have a Game Room Solutions in the garage right now, the 32-inch. It's either the curve or the slant. I forgot which one it is, but basically it's the very slim one. It almost looks like a View Lynx. It's nice because it's slim. Customer wanted something like slim, skinny, nothing too like huge. That right now, I ordered that cabinet probably, let's be fair, I'll probably say, and I'll take a look when I make the video for it, I'll make the exact date. But probably I would say like not January, December 1st, I ordered that cabinet. And if you look at today, that cabinet is still not done because of Game Room Solutions. It's, like I said, you could kind of blame it on maybe the holiday rush. But basically, I ordered it's a 2-player panel, but I ordered, and I'm kind of upset that I had to pay extra for it. I did order the dedicated 4-way cut. In other builds, like they just had it as a checkbox, but on this specific one, or either, I haven't looked at all of them, they didn't have the dedicated 4-way cut. So I wrote in the notes when I placed the order for the cabinet, I want dedicated 4-way. They sent me a bill for, I think it was like a $45 fee to cut this dedicated 4-way. And I'm like, all right, whatever. What am I going to do? I didn't really need the cutout because I could just, kind of, but I like it to be clean. Not to mention, actually, no, I should say I do need the cutout because they use plexiglass. And cutting into plexiglass is a risk. So I didn't really want to jeopardize it for $40. Paid the $40. The package came in the mail. I started building the cabinet. I look at the control panel, and then what do you know? The control panel is missing the dedicated 4-way cut. Now, I think I even showed it off in a video I did of that 26,000 game Pandora box. I showed it off. I was like, isn't this great? So now I had to wait a week. Get this, Game Room Solutions sends me another deck. I'm all excited. I actually put it in the cabinet. I cut up the holes. I mounted, I would probably say I mounted like 10 buttons. I closed the lid, thinking I'm done. I look at the control panel. They have the start and the coin buttons misaligned with the artwork. So I have my start and coin button here, but the start and the coin wording is here. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. So now I sent them a message. Now they gotta send me another control panel. And now I have to dismantle the entire cabinet. Not the entire cabinet, I have to dismantle the base. But that is brutal. It's brutal. I'm praying that there's no other hiccup. Again, the 3 amigos, I got Joel and Ray. I even sent it to Joel. Joel's like, I don't understand how they keep fucking up. Like, on my situation, for Joel, they do great. They do awesome on Joel's end. But, yes. I mean, again, I have no bad blood with Game Room Solutions. I used them in my beginning age, and now it's like, I think I'm at a point now where, for me to save money for the customer, I give the option. But to save, like, I'm going to say several. I'm not going to say a few. It's several $100s. It is what it is. It's just luckily this customer's cool. The customer that's getting this curve or slant, whatever the fuck I bought, He's the guy that gave me the crane to fix. So he's in no rush. He didn't need it for Christmas. If he needed this for Christmas, I would have been screwed. I would have been like, I would have been bad. And that's the worst thing in my situation. I have to rely on a third party. In this situation, I'm relying on Game Room Solutions to give me what I need. And as you can see, a month, that cabinet is not done. And then I also regret getting the button kits from Game Room Solutions. I don't know what decision they made. They now use god-awful buttons, and it is what it is. I'm going to basically, what's the wording I want to say with this cabinet, with this slant? I'm going to break even on it. I have to now, give the guy a break because usually for me, I don't build, the biggest thing with me when I make my cabinets, I don't do the enclosed cabinet anymore. I'm into the Bivic design. Everybody that I talk to, they like the big screens and like, oh my God, I like how this is. And I'm external TV mounted. That's A-okay. That's my design. I love it. Other customers and all the feedback I'm getting, people love it. I don't like cutting plexiglass. Plexiglass in my place, I can't CNC cut plexi. It melts. I tried it once and I will never do it again. I will never look back at it again. That's where I use the textured vinyl from Gulf Coast Decals. But I have some people, like one guy messaged me yesterday, he's like, I don't like your Bivic design. I want it enclosed like a classic arcade cabinet. I said, okay, we're going to have to go with Game Room Solutions then. And that's fine. But now I used to say Game Room Solutions, it used to take me, let's call it 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks to make a 32-inch cabinet Pandora box build. Let's be very wordy on that. A Pandora box build is very quick. I gut and then I replace. That's what this plan was here. Luckily, I didn't start wiring this curve or slant, whatever you want to call it. Because if I was going to start wiring it, I would have had to unwire, detach everything, and then move it over. It's god-awful. But yes, now it's like I got to tell people it's like a 3 to 4 week on a Game Room Solutions thing. I mean, granted, yes, it's kind of like I don't want to say the word once in a blue. Because everyone that comments on a Game Room Solutions video of mine in the past, they're like, oh, it's god-awful. Like, it's insane. Yes. Pers, what's up? Yes, he goes, what the hell? 11:24 in the morning stream. That's also another thing. Nobody streams in the morning, so we could have coffee together. But yes, if you are just tuning in now, I just mentioned I plan to do every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because the kiddo's in school right now. So I have the quick chance of playing a game without getting interrupted. And yes, that is the plan. And then I'm also doing it where I'm trying not to, whoever wants to watch this later on, they could still enjoy the stream and watch. I already messed up a little bit on the Jaws video stuff, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to learn it, don't worry. I'm also excited for the camera. The camera, I think, looks great. My end looks great. It's more about when it comes to post, when I see YouTube finally update the final stuff. But yes, it is going to be early morning streams. I'm most likely going to get back into the late night streams when I finish my VPN. I want to get back into the VPN. I have like a whole story with that. But yeah, I haven't touched my VPN since the 10.8 update, which coincidentally was when I got my real pins. Those things get played nightly, daily. It's insane. Even the wife is still loving it. She's got that one more game. It's got that one more game effect. She still goes crazy for it. And then I tell her, literally 2 hours will fly by. She's trying to get the high scores and all that. But in the heat of the moment, when 10.8 was released, I actually fixed my 50-inch. The big thing, if you watch my past streams, I had a nudge issue because my KLZ board was in the rear of the cabinet. I actually dismantled it. I rewired the KLZ board to bring it to the front. Once I got all that done, I went to press start. I played Mustang, and I was like, oh, this is a great table. I'm going to plan to stream this. And after about, no joke, 15 minutes, I was like, oh, man, this cabinet is too wide. It's too wide. Compared to my regular JJPs, or I should say a standard body, my 50-inch was 4 to 5 inches wider than a wide body cabinet. And just like that alone, you could just, it was a huge difference. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. It made me not want to play it. I hate to say it. It made me not want to play my V-Pin. Yeah. Again, though, I'm only saying that because now that I own 2 pins, you could just, it's like a muscle thing now. Like I'm set here. Being out here now, it's different. I love the 50-inch though. I had that 50-inch for 3 years. But now, again, when I was building the Hogwarts one, you know, seeing the OLED, it looked amazing. And then also, in that moment, though, I haven't really played real pins. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is kind of too small now. But I'm telling you, now, this right here, these are coming up 5 months that I had it. And I've been playing them daily. I'm not bullshitting you, daily. It now is like a muscle thing. My hands are so programmed to being this wide than to be this wide. Last week, went to my pinball place, Pinball Long Island. I walked up to Twilight Zone, and I walked up to Pirates of the Caribbean, JJP, and I had the same reaction that I had with my 50-inch. I was like, whoa, this is just a little bit too wide for my liking. I'll play it, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely somewhere I was like, whoa, this feels different and it feels weird. But yes, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to bring back the V-Pin. There's some like Dungeons game that came out. I want to play that. And honestly, it's like, you know, even now, like I said, that's the point of the stream. You know, we'll screen grab, we'll look at like Facebook, we'll see what's going on in the pinball. Like if I wanted to buy a machine, you know, I went back to now looking at real pins, and I'm like, wait, I have this on the V-Pin though, so I just gotta get it all fixed and situated. But yeah, I'm aiming for like at least, I mean, Gulf Coast Decal is gonna take about a week to send me my artwork after they print it. So I'm hoping that the cabinet is done by this week, and then I'll be able to bring it down to the basement, and then I could work on the next builds. And again, like I said, I'm aiming. It's like I said earlier in the beginning, like this streaming thing, it takes time to set up, which is the brutal part of it. It is the brutal part of it. But then again, it's like, you know, once you get past that, it's actually fun. That's what it is. But basically, I have to just, and I've always said in the past, you just got to press stream. Like, forget about, like, the thumbnail. Forget about, like, the beauty of it. As long as you get, like, camera and then game capture, that's fine. Because right now, I don't know how many people are watching. It's fine. I'm here with some people. Whether I'm here with 1 person, 0 people, I plan to still just press stream and go with it. What size TV could you put in your Godfather? Just trying to get an idea of how big the pinball is. The Godfather... It's a 42. It's a 42-inch. I measured it. My Godfather pin, edge to edge, outer wall to outer wall, is like 22 to 22 and a half inches wide. So my V-pin I'm making upstairs, I'll take a look real quick. Let me make sure I have all my notes, because... yes, that was the one big deal that I was doing. I was doing yesterday because my, no, I might be wrong, actually. I might be wrong. I could real quick run and grab, or there's actually, honestly, a way to see it. I'm wrong. My number is wrong. Hang on. Basically, my pin I'm building now, I'm going to be doing the matrix on it. I was like contemplating it, but the big thing on my personal pin, I am putting my screen against the glass. I loved it on my 50-inch. I love it. So it's not totally against the glass. It's 3/8 off the glass because I have that LED channel. So I'm doing the LED matrix along the actual side, and then I have the gap on top for a matrix, and I always will, you know, I have always the option to disconnect the LEDs. But again, my LED matrix, just like my other pins, I put the plexiglass, I painted black, so I smoke it out so you can't visually see it. I want to get you the dimensions because you asked a very good question. But right now, my pin right now, the inside dimensions is 21.75. So if you add 21.75 plus an inch and a half, because I use 3/4 inch wood, my cabinet right now is 23.25 edge to edge. And I feel like that is like 22. I gotta get it. Give me a second. I have to get my I gotta do it. I gotta get my my ruler. Hold on. Because that was gonna bother me. I know I have it in my notes, but if I measure it right now, edge to edge, my Godfather pin with the lockdown bar, I'm at 22 3/8, 22 and a half. Whereas now my pin upstairs, so 22 and a half, let's just call it to be safe, 22 and a half, my pin upstairs, edge to edge is 23.25. So call it, I'm an inch wider than a regular standard pin. Again, my wide body was 4 to 5 inches wider than a wide body. It's just kind of a muscle thing, to be honest. So again, my cabinet is I'm putting a 42-inch C3 OLED in it. But I also, and that's the thing I'll talk about in the main video, Best Buy is like, you can look at Best Buy, the dimensions of the actual cabinet. You got to remember though that you have the sensor underneath that TV. That sensor is 3/8. So now you have to add 3/8 to the top. This way your TV is centered. That was the one issue I had with my 50-inch, where basically the bottom bezel on that Q50, the QNED 50-inch, it was thick. So let's just call it like an inch thick. Now my TV is off by an inch. And again, that cabinet I built around the Samsung TV that I had. So yes. But yeah, 42. I think the only thing I would have to see is the length. Actually, let's do it now. The total length, I usually don't like to put anything. Total length of my cabinet, we'll call it, it's 51 3/4. 52, just make life easy. It matters when I start cutting, but for this, it's 52. And I just ordered the artwork from Justin. Let me just see what I sent him as far as the dimensions. I always add an extra inch for bleed. So I have here, my cabinet is 47 inches. So it's a little bit, inwards, but nobody really cares about that. That's where like some people they want it like longer, but you're not gonna find that's like a widescreen. I don't think it's worth it. I want a V-pin so bad. Part of me wants to build my own. Part of me wants to buy a pre-built. You could do pre-built. That's A-okay. You gotta look at the specs. You have no idea. The guy I met yesterday that took the carcass of my 50-inch, he asked me, he's like, how much do you sell the V-pins for? And I'm like, I gave him a number. I don't like to say it on camera because somebody's going to take this footage and then 5 years later be like, oh, you said it was this much. What happened? That's why you'll never hear me say pricing because people hold you to it. But his eyes basically lit up. He's like, whoa. And I was like, you got to remember, you got to, whatever you're putting into it, you got to get the good specs. Don't run like a Dell Optiplex on a V-pin. You're going to have a bad time. People don't even recognize that the screens. When I did the Samsung build, it was the Samsung, the 32-inch back glass, and the 20-inch DMD. That was $1,500 alone in screens. And that was on a bullshit like Samsung. Now look, the C3 OLED, I got it from Micro Center. I was very surprised. I got it at Micro Center. The Micro Center by me in Jersey, they actually do 3% sales tax. It's a whole thing with that specific Micro Center. They're like a corporate whatever it is. So 3% sales tax. And not to mention I have the credit card with Micro Center, so it's 5% discount. So I basically didn't pay tax, and I got 2% like discounted, if you know what I mean. Like that's the math on it. I bought the TV from them. I think I paid like $780. But I think if you go to like Best Buy, it's like, I don't know, $799 or like $800, whatever it is. It's either $799 or $899. But the C3 OLED when it first came out, it was like $1,200. So now you're going, the screens alone is like $2,000. Let's just say if you ignore these sales, the C3 when it first came out at let's say $1,200, you're looking at least $2,000. Just in the screens alone. We're not even talking about the PC yet. Just in the screens alone. The PC minimum got to be at least $1,000. It's got to be at least $1,000. Now I'm looking at like if I was gonna build a new VPN, I would be looking at like a 4070 minimum, 4060 super if they even have that. But yeah, that's what I would do. My only thing is yes, you could get a pre-built. That's okay to get pre-built. It's just you got to ask for the specs. So many people send me like the VPN builds from some dude in like Florida. He's called like the King. And it's like, if you look at the specs, I'm like, that's why it's priced low, because you're going to run like a 1080. Not even like a 1080 Ti. They just a GTX 1080. I'm like, oh, good luck. Go have fun with it. But yeah. My VPN is 43 inches, so maybe roughly the same size. Meaning you have a 43 TV in it? Or 43 deep? Really goes by what you put in it, yes. That is it. Especially the toys. Once you start talking about the toys, now the one thing right now, it wasn't a dilemma. I was contemplating if I wanted to keep my Siemens contactors. Siemens contactors. And I am using them on mine. I've never fired off my contactors on laminated birch. I should have made the video on it. It's so crazy. I cut the cabinet and I put like the legs on it, and no joke, with one arm, like I stood next to it, I had to move it a little bit. One arm, I put the cabinet over me and I lifted it with one arm. And I should have done it on video because I'm like, laminated birch is just way lighter than anything. It was actually crazy for me to just lift it up like that. But yes, I right now, and I'm going to be talking about it in the like, you know, on the actual official video for it. But if you look very carefully, if you look at the videos of the Hogwarts pin I did and the Star Trek pin, even the promo, those promo videos I did, especially for Hogwarts, if you look very carefully in the background, there is a third V pin that was supposed to be made. It's in the background of the videos. From the time that the Hogwarts video was, again, in my like realm, I'll shoot a video today, but then, you know, I just add it to the next queue. So figure like 2 weeks before that actual video was released, that third V-pin has been sitting in my garage, just in the way, taking up space and in the way, and it was in the way. So finally, my biggest thing, I said to myself, I was like, you know, the week that, you know, from Christmas to New Year's, you get that like week. I was like, I'm gonna take apart that cabinet and I'm gonna change my 50-inch. Again, I had no intentions of doing this. Like, if you asked me December 1st, like, are you gonna do that? Like, I had no intentions of it until I went, loaded up my V-pin, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. I have to swap it out. But yes, now I have a wait list of people that were waiting. They are waiting for V-pins. I think 2 people on that list were looking for the 50-inch. And I would just say to them, like, hey, just a heads up, you know, if you know, some customers I get, they have real pins like me. And now they want the V pin so they don't have to keep buying all the older ones. I'm like, I would probably go with the 42 only because of the size. It's just muscle. Like the muscle on it was just, it felt way different. But yes, I'm anxious for that. And then I just want to play. And luckily with the V-pin, you could always cut off the solenoids and you could game at night and all that. It works out. These, I could get away playing with these at night to an extent. The shakers on these, I love it. That's also another thing. My new pin, it's going to have a shaker motor on it. I would look into a knocker because I love the knocker, not just on The Godfather, but when you get an actual match, you get that click. Only Stern though. Stern has weird knocker sounds. It's kind of like a I don't know, like a bell. I don't know. But I don't think I got to get a 50-volt power supply now. I don't think it's really totally worth it. I'm more focused on the Matrix right now. And no joke, I took, and I made the listing on like the VPN group, because I posted it. Somebody was like, can you post a picture of the cabinet when it was complete? And like people thought I was giving away my entire cabinet with the PC, with the TV for free. And I'm like, no, I did give an option if they wanted the QNED. And luckily the guy that took it yesterday, he did tape the QNED. Some odd reason my QNED, maybe my kiddo might have, or me, I'll blame it on me. I might have maybe, got frustrated and I might have hit the top of the glass. And then sure enough, the bottom of my TV actually developed like 2 lines. So I was like, oh. There goes like a $600 TV. Now I had to discount it at a steep discount. I got rid of it for like $200. And honestly, it was just in the way. I was like, you just go ahead. Go have fun with it. Again, it was a 50-inch, 120 hertz though. It's solid. What do you think of the micro PCs for VPN? ETA Prime puts up this pretty awesome... I would never do a mini PC. Don't do it. Save yourself the headache. Don't do it. If you go into the realm of 4K, and if you go into the realm of 3 screens, you need dedicated graphics cards. Don't even do it. You need the dedicated. Look at Joel. Joel recently just released a video that he's using those new, the new like retro gun boxes, and I guess he has a 4K issue, and he says people like put it to 1080p. There you go. It's like I'm telling you, don't do it. If you're like me personally, when I go to Micro Center online, I look for open box refurbished deals on Micro Center all day, because if there's any way that I could save a customer money, that's the best way to do it, is a refurbished PC from Micro Center. But I'll be honest, anytime I get anything from Micro Center that's pre-built, I always swap out the RAM and I always swap out the M.2 SSD. They use like the Western Digitals, and they always give blue screen. And what's great is that when I go to pick up these refurbished PCs, I say to the guy, I'm like, why was this returned? They actually have a log. They will tell you why it was returned. 99% of the time, it's because of blue screen of death. Like Windows will just give you a blue screen, and it'll just give you like the frown face, dead. 99% of the time, you need a new hard drive. You need a new M.2 SSD. So all the time, even now, the Time Crisis build I did, I always get the Samsung Evos, and it's no joke. It's the Evo box, but inside of it is a Western Digital. Look at that. That is legit. There it is. That is what's inside of Micro Center stuff, is the Western Digital M.2s. I don't throw these out. I could always like put it in my computer and all that. It's an M.2. But all the time, if you ever get a pre-built from Micro Center, and also the RAM. RAM, they use these bullshit no-name brand companies, and for like $60, the Time Crisis cabinet I did came with 16 gigs of RAM. For $60, 32 gig update with the Vengeance, done. It was a done deal. Like it's a no-brainer. With the tables VPW are making, you need a good graphics card. Yes, that is factual. That's why I'm very anxious. The first table, once I get my pin up, I'm going to download that Dungeons game. That Dungeons game is 3 screens. It looks like mayhem. I'm not a fan of Die Hard. I never saw the movie. Don't flame me, but But Die Hard, they made the V-pin for that, and it's like, I would assume that there's a lot of action going on. Trust me, you need dedicated graphics cards. That's number one. And a mini PC just doesn't have it. Mini PC is good for like FX3, FX2, but if you're doing like one screen, I don't know. I don't even bother. You know what sucks? I don't know the exact phrase for it, but it's like you're trying to save a nickel, but you're spending $1. You know what I mean? You're trying to save money now, but then once you get it in your hands and once you play with it, you're like, oh shit, I should have just went out and I bought the right stuff. You don't need a crazy expensive PC. You don't need a $2,000 PC. Just me personally, I'd rather go and get the best tech. You should see, and no joke, I am right now streaming to TikTok. That's also very awesome. Like, this is also what's great. I'm gonna look at it right now. It always blows my mind when I open up TikTok and you could see, let's see if you could see it. The video right here, look at that. The video for Time Crisis has 167,000 views. Blows my mind all the time. Every time I see it, and it just comments all day, comments. And you get your basic, like, bullshit. Look at this. This is perfect. 27 minutes ago, somebody wrote, you might not see it, let's see. 27 minutes, somebody wrote there that a 4060 is overkill. And I wrote in the comments, I was like, I always get current gen stuff. I'm not gonna go out and get a 1080 Ti. You know, somebody's like, oh, you're, 1990 Time Crisis, you don't need a great graphics card for that. I'm like, but I live in the now. Like, I'm not gonna buy a 2060 to what? Save $100? That shit is future-proof. And all day, the comments on it, no joke, 4060 is overkill. Who wrote? Some fucking idiot wrote, just get the retro shooter box. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. No. Don't do that, please. Now look at this, Jurassic Park. You got Jurassic Park came out, Techno Parrot, Patreon. I don't do Patreon. And I've always had, I just don't like it. People are paying whatever it is, $5, $10 a month. And it's one of those things where like you kind of forget you have it, so you're just getting automatically billed. But the fact that like Techno Parrot, the Techno Gods, from Jurassic Park, when was the last, to Terminator, to Aliens, from that window, you guys got zero. You guys actually got hacked within that window. And I don't like the idea. Let's just call it, let's be nice. I'll call it 6 months. Okay, Vic, 6 months times $5 a month, that's not a big deal, it's $30. Times that by how many subscribers they have. You got zero, you got zilch for that. It's like, I don't know. I don't like the vibe of it. I don't. But I get it. They got to make their money, I guess. I don't know. Right now, I will never do Patreon. I'm not upset. I'm not going to be like, I'm angry at the world. The fact that they didn't move Terminator and Aliens to non-Patreon, am I upset? Yeah. Am I going to, like, cry myself to sleep? No. It's just I kind of wish that they kind of moved it. So now they're basically holding on to 3 games. Something about Wheel of Fortune 2 came out. 4 games. They're holding on to these 4 games so that, okay, you want to play these games, you got to pay for Patreon. I don't like it. I don't like it. Then I kind of laughed, not to be like, a dick, but I kind of laughed that like when their Christmas present was like I don't know, some kind of like reshade. I was like, all right. Now, I don't know what's happening. There might be an ad. There is an ad. I don't even know how this works. I get a notification that an ad went live, so I'm going to wait. While I wait, I'll read it. They're making newer games that require higher graphics. Hey, maybe he meant for Duck Hunt. Oh, that's true. Maybe for Duck Hunt. I don't know how the ad went. I would assume you could press skip on it, and then we are back. Yes. Now look, Jurassic Park came out. Shout out Brad D. Don't want to talk too much, but I'm doing something with Brad D. After I finish up E-Rock's guns, I haven't even shown that off. I kind of gave a little sneak peek. Those guns, you'll never see me do them again. You'll have to just wait and see for that. After E-Rock's gun build, Brad D and his brother, we might be doing something together, so you'll stay tuned for that. But Brad D made a tutorial. And it's actually very funny because Brad D posted like a screenshot of his like view count skyrocketing. And I was like, yes, that is the part of content creation, is that once something comes out, you got to jump on it and be the first one to, talk about it. Even now, look at this. 15 minutes ago, Jaws, Stern released a video for Jaws. I'm not like this stream is not about Jaws, but we showed it off, and you got to react to it. But the fact that Techno Gods, you got a game, it needed an audio fix, and it basically didn't work out of the gate. And I remember seeing online, Light Gun Lunatics, even in our group, the Wizards and all that, you just kind of see everybody like, how do you get this game working? How does this work? And not to mention, people are like, where are the files? And now I get it. I understand. I didn't know that, but apparently this Patreon doesn't give you the files. You're basically just paying for the access to it. But I was just kind of laughing inside where everybody is like, Jurassic Park was released. Who has the files? I have the files, but the game doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, like, go. Like I said, I don't want to talk like a dick, but I'm never going to get sponsored by Techno Gods, let's be real. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I get you're doing work, and I get you got to make these things work, and the boards and the I/O errors, but I don't know. I don't know. I also feel like they made a big deal, like, oh, stay tuned for this year because we're doing like 25 days of Christmas or something like that. What are you using to get 4 players to work with the new Turtles? Okay, I don't use iPacks. I despise iPacks. The only time I will use an iPack, I will give a shout out and credit to Joel, Retro Lizard, is I use the iPack for the gun cabs. Mostly because of that dedicated escape key. So it helps out definitely on the techno-powered stuff. If you watch any of the shorts, I kind of mention it very quickly on how to get 4 players working on certain games. I use X360 CE. There's 2 versions. There's an old version. There's a new version. And that's really it. Yeah, I only use X360 CE. I used to use X Output. Now I avoid that at all costs. For Turtles, you need the new X360 CE. Basically, the new X360 CE, you actually launch it. You launch it before the game starts, and that X360 CE has to be on. It's got to be left on. Like, you just got to leave it on. Eric, what's up, bro? I don't know why I'm not getting your notifications. I don't know. That I can't help you. Something about the bell, I don't know. But then again, I kind of have to work on the next stream. I have to kind of adjust it where I want to do like the premiere or whatever and notify things. Eric, I mentioned you before about you doing the Rails and the lockdown bar for me, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, I'm right now, like, I have to clean up my streaming just a little bit. Basically want to get like that, I don't like that 10-second timer countdown shit. Because when I'm working in the garage, I watch streams. I'll watch B-Kong stream. I don't mind it. But like that first minute of like the music blaring, I don't like it. So I have to like sit there and I have my mind program like, okay, I have to press like my arrow key 10 times to skip 100 seconds. And yeah. Alan, what's up, bro? How are you? I know, it's early. I'm actually surprised people are here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Some people, if you are a little bit late, basically mentioning I plan to stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. Yes. That's kind of like a guaranteed thing I want to just set my mind to play. We'll do this kind of like today. This is awesome. You know, again, whether I'm streaming to 0 people or 20 people, I'm just having fun. And the best thing is that you kind of just watch it later on. Definitely want to do like one day is pinball. I got this camera. I think it looks great. I got to see what it looks like post-edit. But yes, I'm excited for this camera and hopefully for the 3 Amigos stream. This camera does great. Awesome. Again, pinball stream. I want to do a gaming stream. I've been very anxious to do that. And then just kind of like one stream to do like a, this. Just a talk, chat. I am looking, I mentioned in the last stream, I wanted to find out. There's a way that like on the website I could put like a microphone and you could send like an audio thing and that's it. I said it in my Godfather stream, which I watched the Godfather stream later on when it was like post-process, and I was like, wow, the camera actually looks great. It definitely looks way better. So money well invested, and not to mention I'm looking to get another camera, the same exact camera. I'm actually mind blown with like the technology on it. It's not that expensive either. I am getting it used, but I just love the fact that right now I literally just plugged in the camera and then that it worked. My old camera, which is actually right next to the Godfather there, because I was streaming it, I had to run a program, and then if the battery dies, then I have to reset the whole entire stream. It's work. Getting like these stream stuff, it worked. But the coolest thing, and I'm already feeling it because it's gonna be time to go soon. It's basically like a good, like at least an hour, hour and a half. Again, I dropped the kiddo off, and then I gotta eat breakfast with the wife and everything. So figure like, I think I started a little late today. I think I started like at 11 because I was trying to get this thumbnail and then whatever. Basically, trying to aim for like 10 to 12. So it's a solid at least like 2 hours, and then I know for a fact that when it comes time to end, we'll probably be talking about something, and then I gotta go literally pick up the kiddo. I gotta get in the car and dip out. So I like it, but then again, like I said, nightly streams I want to do still, mostly gonna be with pinball, with the V pin, once I bring that back to life. So this was cool. At least there's some people here, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. I just want to play more. I literally hit, I'll sit at night and I'll watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then I'm like, I have no motivation to even like play a game because I'm either tired or there's really nothing to play. But again, I just want to, I mentioned it like I said earlier, so if you're watching this later on, you're going to hear me repeat it, but you know, I had this idea of like, I didn't want to touch any arcade games until the kiddo gets older, but I might as well just play it now. I got to live in the moment and just play the games now. So that's again, I even have a couple of games on my actual, you know, Bivic arcade cabinet. There was like I said, I aim for the arcade style games that could actually play with arcade sticks. It'd be great to play some AAA games, but I'll mostly aim for like that. I have one game, I think it came out for Halloween, and it's actually, I forgot the name of it, but I wanted to stream that. But again, the biggest thing, at least for this year, was the new camera. Might not make a big deal, but like I'm digging the camera, and not to mention it hasn't died yet, and it hasn't overheated. And it's an actual camera, so that's also another thing. The newer videos, I'm actually selling this camera that I have. I'm selling it. I was supposed to meet somebody today, but yeah, you know how these fucking people are. But yes, I'm just more excited for that, because possibly going to shoot in 4K. I did try to run this in 4K and like shoot in 4K, but after like 45 minutes, the camera died. It was overheating, I should say, so it's like, ah. But then if I get a second one, I could always, you know, swap in between. But yes, just, again, I want to play, I want to talk more, and yeah, that's honestly the objective. And not to mention, yes, I know it's early in the morning, but nobody else streams in the morning. And the fact that I have right now, it says here 8 viewers watching right now, that's perfectly fine with me. That's awesome. I'm very happy that there's 8 other people with me. So if you're eating breakfast or whatever, awesome. But yeah, there's just always, you know, just talking. There's always stuff that I've always wanted to talk about, and then it's like I don't talk about it because I don't stream it. And yeah, like I said yesterday, I was watching OTG. Never seen him before. I was actually thinking of like YouTube. I like YouTube, but their streaming is weird. They need to get on like the TikTok, the Twitch side of streaming. They need like that like window, that view, and you know, kind of just shows you what's happening. I don't know. Twitch. I hate streaming to Twitch because I don't really get many viewers on there. But whatever, it's fine. But like YouTube, like live, it doesn't really show you that great of a thing. But coincidentally, last night I was just watching a video, and this OTG dude was streaming, and all of a sudden B Kong joined in on it. They were basically talking about Arcade 1-Up. And I was like, it doesn't really interest me, but it was kind of cool just to see like the chat go and then people talking about it. They were so fixated on like, oh, what's the next upcoming game that Arcade 1-Up should do? And I'm literally writing in the chat, I'm like, why, like, Arcade 1-Up's got to deal with licenses and all that, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you guys are waiting for this, like, you're waiting for them to make a game. And I was like, even if they give you the game you want, do you actually have hopes that it's going to work correctly? I haven't looked at an Arcade 1-Up since Street Fighter 2. Like, that's how back. So I'm not current with it. But I'm just the type where I'm like, was Killer Instinct good? Marvel vs. Capcom 2, was that good? Fast and the Furious, was that good? I remember just seeing complaints. So I'm like, even if Arcade 1-Up made the title that you wanted, like, do you actually have high hopes that it's going to be like an amazing, I don't know. That was my main thing. But B Kong did mention, I always mention it too in my videos, B Kong said like when it comes to a multicade for parties, it's a nightmare. Multicades are nightmares for parties, and that's true. Arcade 1-Up, you could walk up to it, there's no instructions, like you could just kind of go in and play. I've always set it to my personal stuff here. I set it to 1 game. My 4-player deck, my by Vic, I always put a 4-player game. So like on Christmas Eve, I put X-Men. I literally lift my control panel and I actually take the micro switch out of the exit. This way nobody could exit the game. Same thing when it comes to my V-pin. I don't really take out the exit button, but you get my drift. That's what it is. The Neo Geo Raspberry Pi build, you have to do the combo, so not many people know about the combo to it. When are you going to stream on TikTok? I am streaming now on TikTok. It's actually like it's a whole process, dude. Basically, TikTok is getting a screen grab. TikTok and Twitch get a screen grab, and that should have went live. I would assume that went live, and I assume that went live. But yes, it's perfect for me. I'm sitting here working at home on my work computer and got you. That's awesome, see? That's cool. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. I like the A1 in the past. I'm way past them. Yes, there you go, Alan. A1 was great in the beginning. Again, amazing. Like, whoa, Pac-Man, Street Fighter, it was cool. But then I feel like the hardcore gamers started realizing hardware, and then like, screens going out and all that. 1-ups are just too small. I don't know. I've heard the new ones are way better size-wise. I even mentioned in the chat yesterday, I was like, does A1-up still do the riser? Because that's a fucking nightmare. But I don't think they do it anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch our live streams or posts the most part. My time is more valuable watching other things more advanced. Vic, that's exactly what I do for parties. You have to do it. You have to leave it on 1 game. Yes. Eric, I saw you had like a couple of friends over. I think I saw them playing like Guitar Hero, or they were playing the shooter cabinet. You gotta just keep it on 1 game. And like if I'm in the basement and somebody goes like, hey, do you have this game? I'll then load it up. But in the beginning, all the time, same thing with the shooter, my House of Rock, I will literally take the button out, and I always usually leave like House of the Dead on and such. And it's for parties, you gotta I don't want to say the word dumb it down, but you gotta just make it easy. I've never done a PC game for parties, so even like I know that the new House of the Dead remake has like an arcade mod, but I don't even run that on mine. I think the highest I've ever ran was Scarlet Dawn at a party. But then it's like some people don't understand that you got to pick a gun. You guys actually pick 2 guns, so they're like, I don't know what's happening. I always keep it simple. Usually Area 51 now with the off-screen reload that I did, like that's probably the biggest thing. Just leave it on 1. If it's kiddos coming, I put point blank. I did Carnival for Halloween, but I had like 2 little kids come over and they were terrified. They're like, no. And they ran away, so I probably won't do Carnival. Same thing too, the Switch. I want to play more of my Switch cabinet. And I'll be honest, if the next cabinet that I get rid of, it would probably be the Switch cabinet. I just made that control panel it's too angled up. So I would either modify the cabinet for the next streams, but I have I think one game I downloaded for the Switch that was arcade-like. I just have to play. That's all it is. Again, like I said, my plan Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then that's also another thing. It's like today, I'm wiring up my V-pin, right? I have to literally lay on the floor because I'm gonna do the flashers and the strobes under the cab, so I'm gonna get dirty. So before, like my other builds, I would actually, I would drop the kiddo off and then I would start working, but then I'm all dirty, and now it's like I can't sit down or come down here until I'm done working. And then I'll go shower, change my clothes, and all that. So this all works out great. I have to just iron out the stream a little bit with like the screen grabs and all that. And I'm pretty sure I am streaming to TikTok. But all in all, this is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to press. Again, it's kind of hard. You can't just really press start streaming. You got to set up everything. But with the new camera, this was at least a quicker setup. And then on that note, it is perfect time to end because I got to go pick up the kiddo. See that? It works out perfectly. So again, hoping tomorrow to stream. I don't know what I will stream. I'm probably gonna do gaming. I'm not gonna do the pin. My pin, I do want to stream Toy Story. I do want to do that. I've done a lot of Godfather, and Godfather's still kicking my ass. It's no joke. This game is kicking ass. It's brutal. But I'd rather do Toy Story, so I'll probably do that. We'll do that on a stream and all that. But yes, this is awesome. See? And I also get to talk a lot. I have to work on looking at the camera. I look at the chat here, but I look at the camera there. But Yes, on that note, whoever hung out, I appreciate it. Whoever came late. Oh, thanks, Eric. Cool. Again, it's basically just screen grabbing. The V-pin setup, it's kind of crazy. I actually wanted to stream. I'm using my laptop. I wiped it. I literally wiped it because it only had like 16 megs open for some stupid reason on the C drive, and I had to wipe it. I wanted to stream everything from this laptop, but I can't multicast the camera to 2 separate streams. So whatever, it's fine. At least, and I'm pretty sure when I look at that, I feel bad because I forgot to have the chat on TikTok. So whoever's here from TikTok, go check out YouTube. If you're on YouTube, add me on TikTok. That is it. See, now I have to rush because I'm going to be late to go pick up the kiddo. On that note, guys, have a good day. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. This was fun. I appreciate you all hanging out. On that note, VicVP, Gamecase Arcades. I'll see you on more streams. We got to do it. I am my own deflector. I'm my own roadblock. And now we're going to push that roadblock away and we will be gaming. So on that note, guys, I will see you guys later. Have a good day. There you go. That's not bad, right? Good motivation. Have a good day. Make the best of it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.